Alright, YouTube, I'm back again here with a Dolphins video. Sorry, my hand's a little dirty. I don't know why. But, just got out of the shower. I'm gonna make these videos all in one. I had a coaching update video, but it got erased because my computer took a crash. So I'm in the market for a new computer. And I have a glare in my glasses. So take those off. So it's gonna be a little bit longer here tonight, but we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna start with the finalization of the coaching staff, and we're gonna go right down the list. Head coach Mike McDaniel is gonna replace Brian Flores. Mike McDaniel came from the 49ers. He was the offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I know he was the OC. Was he calling the plays? Some say he was, some say he wasn't, some says Kyle Shanahan was calling the plays, but it has been somewhat confirmed that Mike McDaniel came up with the game plan and the scheme weekly. Right down the line, Matt Applebaum is our offensive line coach, coming from Boston College. I don't know much about him. The passing game coordinator, Darrell Bevel, came over from Jacksonville. He was their interim head coach. Tight ends coach and assistant head coach, John Embree, came from also the 49ers. He kind of just came right over as a as a pretty much the same position coach. Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDaniel probably had an agreement, backdoor agreement, before he left. It was like, you could take these type of coaches. I'm okay with parting ways with these guys you don't touch, things like that. Probably a backdoor deal. Because we're gonna go right down the line, and one coach that I'm excited about having, Wes Welker. He was also coming straight over as the same positioning and coach as the wide receiver coach. So he is our new wide receiver coach. He was the wide receiver coach last year for the 49ers. Eric Studsville is staying here on the team, even though we got rid of Charlie Fry and the other offensive coordinator. I forget his name. But Eric Studsville is a associate head coach, not an assistant, associate, and he's also the running backs coach. Now we're going to go back on to the other side of the ball, to the defense. Josh Boyer, he's staying, which is I'm disappointed in losing Gerald Alexandra. He really stepped up that secondary last year, especially late in the season. And it sucks because I wish we could have kept him. But as of now, Josh Boyer is our DC going into the season. Sam Madison, you know who that is? A former Dolphins player, cornerbacks coach. And then Pat Surtain, another former Dolphins defense assistant. So that's our new coaching staff and the way it's going to be set up the start of the 2022-2023 season. With this video being posted tonight, which is Monday or Tuesday morning, with that being said, it is the start of free agency. And as the title says, I'm going to go over that next. I'm going to start it off right off the top. Emanuel Agba. We kept him. We signed him to a 4-year, $65 million deal, which equals to about $20 million a year, a little over. I don't know how much is guaranteed. So he re-signed. This is a little head scratcher for me, and I think we paid a little bit too much for him. Chase Edmonds, running back from the Arizona Cardinals. 2-year, $12.6 million, so roughly $6.3 million a year. If it was a 1-year deal, I think he would have been just a camp body, but I think they might be plugging him in the system. With that being said, I don't know if they're going to keep Duke Johnson or Philip Lindsay, or if they're going to look elsewhere. I don't know yet. And this one is really head-scratcher. He did come on late for the Cowboys last season, and he did help him out in a lot of key situations when he was asked for. But 3 years, $22.8 million, we signed wide receiver Cedric Wilson, which is close to about 9 or 8 point something a year, something like that. I could be wrong. And then I think our backup quarterback, which is another head scratcher with everybody being out there. But I mean, I'll take him over Jacoby Brissett any day of the week or year. Teddy Bridgewater signs a 1-year deal, $6.5 million a year. Got hurt as a Denver Broncos quarterback, and I don't think he returned after his injury. So those are the free agents that we got so far. Emanuel Agba, I don't consider him a free agent because I don't think he even interviewed with anybody. I think we got him before he hit the open market, which I'm glad. So we're keeping that defense pretty much intact. So the 3 main guys that we picked up so far, Chase Edmonds, Cedric Wilson, and Teddy Bridgewater. Now this next one's a really big one. Mike Gesicki. Signed his 1-year, $10 million franchise tag. Now, that doesn't mean we're out of the clear yet. Sorry, back is itchy. Doesn't mean we are out of the clear yet with Mike Gesicki. They can go back and renegotiate in June or July. I'm not exactly sure what month. And if they don't reach an agreement, then they can pick up where they left off at the end of next season, and the start of next free agency, and hopefully they can come away with an agreement. But with him signing his franchise tag, shows me that he's not all about just the money and he wants to be here. Because he could have easily filed an agreement. Damn, I have welding burns on my nose. I am so sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm a welder. I do welding on the side, but anyway. Yeah, I have welding burns over. Anyway, what was I going to say? Him signing this means he wants to be here. I know he does. And with that being said, he ain't going to hold out. If he holds out, he don't get his franchise tag money. So we don't have to worry about that. Not that I don't think Mike Gesicki will. I think he's an honorable person. I don't think he's like a lot of players, and I don't think he would have held out to begin with. But we got Mike Gesicki, at least for next year, and we can try to re-sign him to a long-year deal. So those are the big signings so far through this start of the free agency. Couple players that we need to look at. I think we need to really look at offensive line. There's still some good offensive linemen out there. Tyron Armstead is a name that I've been seeing, and I really want to see them make a run for them. I want to see at least 2 to 3 vets on this offensive line. I think Jensen got signed by the Bucs again, so he's going back to Tampa. If I'm not, no, that was Lipa. The Bengals picked up a guard from the Bucs. I don't think Jensen's signed yet, and I could be wrong. But Tyron Armstead would be a good pickup, and it would help Tua, and would help bolster this offensive line. we did not really spend much. I mean, we have an $80 million cap space. So you have to think, Emanuel Agba, I think this year he's going to cost us 13 or 12, 24, 31, 37. So we've only spent like $48 million so far. And I really don't know how the cap space works exactly. So I don't even want to get into that yet. But we have enough to still build on this offensive line and this defensive line. Bobby Wagner, released from Seattle. If we could pick him up for a 1 year, $8 million, or a 2 year, $16 million, $0 million, pick him up. Help him bolster this linebacker core. Our defense wasn't great. I mean, our secondary is great. But if we can pick up Bobby Wagner and then maybe pick up another defensive end or a defensive lineman, perfect. Another name I've been seeing out there is J.C. Jackson. I would not mind signing J.C. Jackson as an outside corner, and reason why. Byron Jones played some slot and played on some tight ends last year, and he shut those tight ends down. So if you get what I'm saying here, Xavier Howard, J.C. Jackson on the outside, bring Needham and Byron Jones in the slot, and then you got Brandon Jones and Javon Holland manning up the safety position, and we got enough money to do it. So I'd say at least 2 offensive line, J.C. Jackson and Bobby Wagner. That would be a perfect scenario. Do we live in a perfect world? Do I see it happening? Probably not. I see them making a run for at least 1 or 2 of those players, but not all of them. So let me know what you guys want to see and who you want to see the Dolphins go after for all you Dolphins fans. And comment. Let me know. I'm also dropping a new Harley video for all my Harley fans out there, and stay tuned for that. That's coming out tomorrow night. Let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. Go Dolphins.